Hello. Welcome back to the Triforce Tactics podcast. This is episode 39. I knew it was 39 and I looked anyways, so maybe it's just a bad habit at this point. I don't know. Anyways, welcome back. Hello. Riley's popping off if you are a video
It's Pride
a video viewer. Pogo.
Whoa.
Hands up for Pride Month? Or do we pot friends for Pride Month? A little bit of both, maybe? Like, you can do like a mix. Like a...
Oh.
I
can't do paw friend anymore. I don't know where I don't know which proper hand.
Right hand. It's right hand to the head. Right hand to the head. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Or it's like other one is down. Like at an angle.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I'm your host SpicyAppies. Welcome back. Joined by my co-hosts RamKev and Riley, as always. If you want to say hi.
I'm actually Riley today because no one else in this call is gay as shit enough to be Riley, so...
There.
Yeah.
True.
And
I'm the other one.
Kevin is Kevin, as usual. Or not as usual, I guess. Sometimes Kevin is Riley. I don't know. I don't really know where we're at, like, lore-wise with that, but... someone made like a Triforce Tactics wiki. I'm sure there'd be all kinds of like crazy fucking lore going on right now. Anyways, hello. Before we get into how our weeks have been going, Riley, did you want to do your?
Oh, I didn't even have more of a thing.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. I was. I thought okay.
I actually can't say something because
yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, it's Pride Month. Go tell a queer person in your life you love them. Yeah.
We love Riley, so
we do love Riley.
Yeah, I'm for the audio people. I have a trans flag wrapped around me because of course, and of course, I still have like the 3 flags behind me, like the.
It looks like a very badass cape, basically.
Oh, this weekend is my first like legit Pride because growing up in suburban Maryland there wasn't shit, and now that I'm in Philly there's like legit Pride stuff happening, and I'm going to a bunch of things this weekend and I'm very excited, and I'm just gonna cycle through wearing the flags as capes.
There you go. Pog.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I feel like I keep saying Pogo. The thing is, Pogo and TFT means very different things than Pogo.
Yeah, I've started phasing out Pogo.
Yeah, I need to phase it out because if I say Pogo to that, it actually sounds really bad if you don't know about TFT Pogo. I should be Pog-Uing is what I should be doing.
That's Pog-U, yeah.
Yeah, I should be Pog-Uing, not Pogoing. So I'll say Pog-U instead.
Also, I guess on top of that, I haven't streamed in a while, but I'm gonna do like probably a 12-ish hour charity stream on Monday, June 6th, for Transgender Law Network, just for Pride Month. So, yeah,
be there, be square.
That's a thing. I gotta do gotta keep going with the charity streams for some kind of trans related like charitable organization. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, we can talk about our weeks a little bit. Mine has been wholly uneventful. Just playing TFT on PB. I did play in the PB Clash, which was really fun. It was really cool to play like in an international event. I feel like I played really well, so I was happy with it. I was like 31 points. I needed like 33 to get through. And the last game, I went 4th. My last fight was with Cheetux, who was playing Revel and Nivea. And if I beat Cheetux, I would have gotten through. So I would have gotten second. But
Revel and Nivea,
yeah, my whole board got blown the fuck up. It was not great. I was a little sad about that, but I was actually on B because I didn't position properly. I let 2. So what happened was that I thought I didn't realize that Lulu would walk up as far as she did. So she walked up into the Nivea ult. So instead of Nivea hitting 1 unit, she was hitting 2 units, and so my whole board just fucking died because you know how Revel and Nivea works. The more units she hits, the more little sparklers go flying, and if sparklers go flying, your whole board dies. So 1 unit at a time getting hit is manageable because it's only like 30, you know. But 2 units getting hit, it's like a billion.
Your entire board it just explodes.
Yeah, it's not fun. It is really not fun. But that was a fun event. So.
I was playing some Revel and Nivea today, actually, post nerf, and then I was like, "Hey, I just got this ASOL in shop. And I wasn't really thinking at the time, like, let me sell my Anivia 1, put these items on the ASOL. I was like, wait a second, Rebel Spat doesn't work like that. And I immediately sold the ASOL and put back in Anivia 1. I'm like, yes, this has made my board 10 times stronger.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's my week.
That's
my week. How's your week been besides Rebel Anivia, Kevin?
Oh, it's been fine. You know, I've just been chilling, playing some TFT. I absolutely trounced Dags on the human benchmark test we took yesterday, aside from reaction speed and aim training, which I finished like bottom 20th percentile for both of those.
Boomer.
But everything else, all of the like sequence memory stuff, all of the number memory, all of that, I got like top 95 percentile. And I was like, yeah, we did it. We're about the same level as a chimpanzee, and I managed to beat Dax. So big dubs all around.
Sheesh. We take those. How's your week been, Joshi?
Yes. I still haven't touched set 7. Believe it or not. Still playing set 6.5 because I want to get as much time with Talon as possible. Because new Talon doesn't look it whatsoever.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's like spending time with your significant other before like you go off to different colleges, you know? You gotta get your time in with Talon now.
Yeah, true. Honestly, I haven't even played that much TFT because I've mostly just been like working on other like personal projects and also touching grass. Wild concept. It's also, I mean, I kind of have to touch grass because my apartment doesn't have AC and it is currently very hot in Philly.
Okay.
So
that's a mock ass.
So I'm kind of dying a little. So getting out of my apartment helps with that. So I just touch grass, and there's actually like a little like park square. Well, it's not a park. Washington Square is like a 15-minute walk away. So I just go there and sit under a tree and watch anime, and it's nice.
There you go.
Ooh.
Also, I implore anyone who is just a listener, please go to the YouTube video of this to that time, like to wherever this was, and please look at how wide Kevin's eyes went when Shaji said they don't have AC. I've never seen Kevin's eyes go so wide. He was so shocked.
Okay, like having no AC is like, because I'm in Maryland right now, it's like 90 degrees outside.
Wait, you're in Maryland?
Like, yeah.
Wait,
What?
You're so close to me. Wait,
really?
Yeah,
I don't know geography.
Bruh, I'm in Where in Maryland?
I'm in the south, like near DC.
Okay.
Wait, is that close to Philly?
Not particular. It's like 3-hour drive.
It sounds closer to Philly.
Yeah,
that is closer to Philly.
Okay, take Amtrak up to Philly. Like legit.
Wait, I can take an. Wait. I'm near Amtrak too. The Amtrak runs through.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
So so you two come to Philly because it's in the middle, and then I don't have to go anywhere. Whee!
But I'll be back. I'll be back in Cambridge very soon because I'm just this is a carryover from last week where I'm visiting home for a week. But
wait,
I'm so down to go to Philly.
Your parents are in Maryland?
Yes.
How did I not know this? Wait, you're from Maryland.
Like,
you're from Maryland?
I grew up in Boston, so like around the Boston suburbs. But like now we're in Maryland, so it's like
okay.
Very recent.
Okay.
You're all doxing yourself. I mean, everybody knows where everybody lives. Everybody knows like Soju lives in Maryland, right? Like that's like everybody knows that like Perham is in Florida. This stuff isn't, you know.
Wait. Has anyone ever seen Kevin and Soju in the same place at the same time before?
Has anybody seen any other TFT player in the same place at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, I will say every time there are those pictures of like TFT players hanging out in California, you know, like the ramen stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, those people exist in real life and like interact with each other in real life. That's crazy.
Yeah,
like that's fucking nuts. The only person I know in real life who plays TFT is is SpicyAppies, and I mean, she doesn't really play that much TFT. So I don't know. I'm down for a meetup at some point. Maybe at some point we'll do a podcast live.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have to
from like the same place. That'd be cool. That'd be very, very cool. Yeah. Anyways, so this week, D5 DN Avenue. What's the DN stand for?
It stands for D's nuts. Dragon D's nuts.
Someone in chat asked. All right. Wait, yeah. Someone in chat asked what Kevin's exact address was, and he said 55 DN Avenue.
We actually do need to figure out where and when to do like in-person podcasts, because every online podcast does an in-person episode at some point. So we got to as well. You already know.
You know what? We got to set up a huge studio.
Okay, no, that sounds like too much work. No.
No. What we need to do, whenever TFT gets LAN events again, Kevin and I play in the event, Riley casts it, and then we get them to let us use their like analyst desk to do the podcast from there. Yeah.
I like that.
That's the way. That's the way.
That's how we do it.
Or we just do it really shittily from the hotel room or something.
I know a thing that some podcasts also do is like they'll make like an in-person recording of an episode, like an actual event, and like we probably won't like charge for tickets or anything, but like, I mean, some do charge for tickets, some are just, we're recording it live at this place at this time, you can come and show up and listen to it live, and yeah, so we could totally do that. That would be so fucking lit, especially if it was like around the TFT LAN, because then we'd all be there anyway.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Fuck it.
I'd be so down. Hopefully, so, speaking of TFT LANs, hopefully, like, sometime, probably not towards the end of Set 7, I bet. I think, still, like, in-person events still won't be a thing, more than likely, but, like, Set 8, if we can start getting, like, in-person events, that'd be great. It just depends on, like, the state of the world.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure at this point that, like, the main thing holding us back from in-person events isn't even COVID, because, like, Wisdom is doing in-person events with other games, like Wild Rift, like Worlds was live in the Mall of America. I think it's just because TFT esports is so online based, and a lot of people just don't want to travel for LANs. That
I can see it.
It'd be hard to like get I think a lot of us are excited for an in-person event. Everyone in this call is. A lot of people are not. A lot of people really don't want to travel, which kind of sucks, because like the lifeblood of esports is these in-person events. But yeah, just we're gonna get some pushback, but I think we need to have LANs at some point for sure.
Yeah, hopefully people open their minds to it a little bit more. I think that idea. We'll get to the topic of the day at some point, by the way, which is going to be like Set 6 recap. But like the idea of Gangly was talking about this a while ago, which was like a Smash Summit thing, but for TFTs, like a TFT Summit, which
that would be so much fun,
cool.
Especially like Smash Summit, especially with like the casting being a little more laid back. Like that kind of laid back casting is kind of what like the idea of the co-streams and stuff is anyway. So that would, like, having that vibe for, like, a TFT summit would be actually perfect.
Yeah, and they let players jump on the mic, so Kevin and I can dish out the unofficial...
Yeah, we can give the worst possible commentary of all time.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to be, like when fucking... Like, when Mango gets on the mic. I'm so down. I don't know. I think I think stuff like sort of looking at chat real quick. I think like Days and Piltover and stuff could not be done on LAN. I agree, but stuff like Innovation Cup or like regionals mid-set could definitely be like a LAN event, right? Where it's like a smaller invitational.
Mid-set and regionals like 100% should be on LAN.
Yep.
Yeah. And like if someone like gets COVID or something and can't fly out for that reason, they can probably do like some kind of setup where like they'll have the LAN and like people playing from there, and then like if someone needs to play in from online, they can. It's not ideal, but You can.
Yeah.
I don't know how LAN setups work, but there's probably a way you could get that going where it's like you have most of the people in person. If someone can't make it, they just play online. At least have the option of flying out and doing it in person would be fucking cool.
Yeah, and then everyone just like spams their ping at the beginning of the game, and then the one person's left out, and you're like, oh yeah, get wrecked, stupid. But you know what was not a LAN event? Any event in set 6.
True. Or
Unfortunately.
set 5 or set 4 or yeah.
Or anything.
Yes, but today
anything since like
we are
set 2.
talking. Sorry, go ahead. Today we are talking about set 6. Which is also a set with no LAN events. So the goal for today, it's going to be pretty casual as always, but maybe even more so than usual because we're gonna shoot the shit about set 6. You know, set 7's around the corner. This time next week will be the eve of the eve of the Friday after set 7 came out.
Yeah, wait.
So not the eve of nothing really.
The
eve of the Saturday after the set
it's
came out.
like
I guess.
Christmas. It's like the day after Christmas.
Well, yeah, it's like a couple days after Christmas, but not New Year's because it's like December 28th.
What are y'all going on about?
Is next Friday.
I can't wait for TFT
week.
Christmas. Oh my gosh, TFT Christmas is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. Santa Moore is gonna
oh god
warp down your chimney.
Huh? What is happening? Any knowers?
Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
Either,
Basically, This is the last week of set 6.5. Last week of set 6 as a whole in general. So we want to talk about it a bit. It's been a great set. A great set for some. Ups and downs for everyone, I would say. But overall, just like a really enjoyable experience, I would say. So what we can do is we have Riley was kind enough to put together a list of like a why is it a timetable? Like a chronological list of stuff that happened. Spreadsheet, yes. A spreadsheet that has thingies on it, and that thingies happen at certain times, and we can go through and talk about the thingies that happened at a certain time, basically. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna set the scene for us very quickly. It's wait. Give me a second. I need to figure out when this patch came out. What? Wait, TFT patch 11.2.
Oh god.
No, not 0.24.
We're off to a great start.
TFT patch.
When did this patch come out?
So 11.22 is when the set came out.
Oh, 11.22?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, it is.
Do we know?
It's 11.22. I did, in fact, go and check all this before the podcast.
It's here. Gizmos and Gadgets announced 11.22 trait overview sheet. Yep.
Here, we're setting the scene again. You're sitting. It's the night before whatever day 11.22 dropped. You're getting your last game in of set 5.5. You're a little sad because this person just got 2 of the best rating items in the game, and then they played Aphelios, or they played like
Vel'Koz 3.
They played Ivor. Yeah, Vel'Koz 3, and they shit on your face, and you're like, okay, then you lit up for a last little game of PBE, and you're like, oh man, this is the future. And then you wait, you go to sleep. You're anxious, you're excited, you don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but you can only dream, you can only imagine. And you wake up on Christmas morning, on the patch 11.22 morning. And I don't know why we're talking about Christmas so much today, because it's literally June. But you wake up, and then all of a sudden you load into your first game on 2-1 or 1-4 rather. You're offered an augment. Wait, I don't know. That was like a Halloween thing at the end there. Basically,
how is it both Halloween and Christmas at the same time? But it's the
every
set 6
holiday
launch,
put together. You get candy and presents.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Everything started at 11.22, though. And so, what did the game look like on patch 11.22?
Mercenaries.
We'll tell you.
Mercenaries.
Mercs
were even more. Yeah, Mercs are more broken than they are already.
Because GP and MF were good units. Can you imagine? They were the best 3-cost units. In terms of stats, and they were mercs, so they printed you money.
Yeah, GP got a huge buff coming off of PBE. So day one, you woke up Christmas morning, you're like, oh shit, I got an augment. And then this motherfucker on 2-1 just has a GP2 from an orb. And they got like the whatever that augment is that gives you a bunch of 3 costs. They get GP2. This GP2 kills your whole board, gives them 4 gold. Yeah, and then you're like, oh shit, it's over. And your first game of the set is just doomed. That's what it was. It was fucking doomed. Unless, mind you, you happen to play Mutant. You have to play some Mutants, because Mutants, particularly the Elderwood variety, and the Darkstar variety, were a wee bit busted.
I actually
busted.
If I go back in my Twitter, I had a tweet first patch of the set where it was like, guess the mutant, and I had like the worst looking board that managed to be like a 3-star Urgot or something, and it was like a 2-star Malzahar with like I think it was Darkstar or something. I can't go back.
So yeah, I have a horror story about Elderwood Mutant as well, but I'll save it for, because there was a tournament on this patch. There was a tournament on the first patch of the set, for anyone who didn't know. Honestly, even with like the balance issue, I think it was like still a really fun patch and still like a very fun like way to start the set. But so this first tournament was Piltover Cup.
Whoa.
Piltover. I don't want to saying P, but I like saying that P like that. Piltover Cup. It was the very first tournament in the set 6 competitive circuit. And so it was, I think, top 32 players on ladder get a bye to day 2 automatically. And then like the rest of there's like 120 something players beyond that all have to duke out on day 1 because they weren't good enough, basically. Right. And so this was, I think this was a 2 or 3 week patch. I think it was a 3 week patch or a 4 week patch, actually. That's why it was.
Wasn't Piltover Cup
I think it was
really early into the cycle? I feel like Piltover Cup was dropped like.
I think it was.
It was the second weekend, actually.
No, I think it was like
the second weekend of the set.
11
a week
2
and then the
was
weekend, right?
2 weeks, and then 23 was, and then like 23 and 24 was 3 and 4 weeks in some order. I don't remember what the order was.
It wasn't the 28th of December, but it was a week after the 28th of December, basically. Was the for comparing to Christmas still was Piltover Cup.
Oh, it was November 12th to 14th. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page.
November 12th to 14th.
Holy
Wikipedia.
Fantastic.
Sheesh.
Sick.
And so I remember that so this patch for me was just like Piltover Cup, because that was the big thing that happened. And I did not get to day 2 automatically because I played on ladder the night before, and it was right before the stuff was locked in, and I lost like 200 LP, and so I played day 1. I played day 1. Yeah, I was pooping my pants. I remember.
And it still had the 3-game elimination format.
Yes, this was the same format as Zon Cup. So it was 3 games, half the field's cut, 3 games, the other half of the field's cut, and then the rest of them go to day 2.
I remember like sitting in Zon Cup day 1, and I was reading up on the format while I was playing, right? And I was like, oh, they're doing this 3-game thing. Like, how is this a thing? And then I learned that it was carryover from the last tournament. I was like, how did nobody complain about this? Like, who did not complain about this to the point where they thought it was okay to do it again?
I was nervous. I think I went like 1-1-1, and then I just went 4-4-4. And I if I went 5 that last one, which unfortunately Kevin has experience with this, and I went 5th that last game, I went 4-4-5, I would not have made it to day 2, which is it's fucking crazy. That's the format. But so it was a terrifying day 1. It was terrifying day 1. There was a lot of Elderwood Mutant running around. There was a lot of there's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Urgot GP twin shots.
Yeah, a lot of twin shot being played. I think challengers were like maybe a moderately popular, but not super popular.
Challengers, Samir was also really good the first patch.
Right.
I remember this because that was what I degen to climb the first patch. Also, what was that? I think it might have been the second patch that Gangly like hosted the LAN that was at Rutgers that I won. And I remember I had a few Samir games.
Oh,
So
Yeah, that was cool. That was like the first LAN I'd ever actually seen for TFT.
it was the
And
first
you popped off.
decent LAN. Like I know from talking to like Garchomp and Slip, like Texas has had a few, but like nothing notable, and it doesn't like good players don't really show up. But at this Rutgers one, we had me, Uber Damn Daniel, he played in a Challenger series and was like getting good results in set 6. A few other Challenger players, so it was like actually a decently like it was like not a stacked field, but it had like some players. It was like a legit LAN, so
That's sick.
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Back to LANs. I mean, I'm down. Just give us more LANs.
It was also so much fun, and all I remember is like Gangly being like, "Okay, LAN is so much fun. Also, Jirachi on LAN is so much fun," because I was having a fucking blast and like actually popping off, and like yeah, it's the energy in person was just so different. Also, it's weird being like the only person at the event with a jersey with your name on your back. And it's like showing up and you're like, wait, people here know me, and then people coming up to you and you're just like, oh, I'm like a name. What the fuck?
That must be crazy.
It was so weird.
That must feel insane, actually.
It was actually surreal. Just like people coming up to me like, hey, big fan. I'm like, huh? How am I here?
I will say I'm very glad that Piltover Cup was not a LAN, because I had was probably the biggest mistake I'll ever make in a tournament in my entire life. In day 2, at the end of day 2. I know
what you're gonna talk about. Pepe laugh.
I barely got to day 2. I barely got to day 3. And my last game, day 2, I thought I needed a first to get through, and I hit Lux 3, who's a 4. She was a 4 cost, right?
Oh yeah,
Lux 3, I had the augment Woodland Charm. Yeah, so I had 2 Lux 3s on my board, right? Because she get duplicated. And then as I was moving this is a point where, so TK on live right now, if you cannot feed him a unit that's not on your bench. You cannot feed him a unit from your board, right? So what I was doing is I had a shroud. I had a shroud on a Zac. I had a shroud on a Zac. Maybe on the TK. Yeah, it was on the Zac. And so I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move last second. This is how I've always played the game. I've always put my shrouds. I hover the unit I want to go. I hover whatever unit has the shroud over wherever I want it, right? In this unit that I wanted it to be, the spot where I wanted to be, happened to have a TK on it. So I was kind of just hovering this Zac 2 over this TK. And then all of a sudden, I go to put the shroud down, like put the unit down last second, and my Zac gets eaten. My Zac 2 gets eaten by this TK. And so Zac 2 gives HP. And how Woodland Charm works is it makes a copy of your highest HP unit. So what happened was that because I fed this Zac 2 to my TK had more HP than my Lux 3, and I lost the game. Because I didn't get 2 Lux 3s anymore. And it haunts me to this day. It was the stupidest shit I have ever done in my entire life. Because this was against Woodland. I lost to a Cho'Gath 2 at the end of the game. Because I couldn't kill a Cho'Gath 2 with my Lux 3.
Over Lux. What the fuck?
I couldn't kill it.
Fun and balanced comp. Woodland a mutant.
Yeah. So that's my Woodland horror story, or my Elderwood horror story. Woodland / Elderwood horror story. Yeah, it was not fun for me, that one. Yeah, but overall it was a fun patch, I think. It was a little degenerate.
I mean, like, that's the start. Yeah. That's the start of, it was just every
the
set.
Start. Oh boy, it's about to get worse.
I mean, okay, it did get worse, but like, I feel like this is the one thing is like I feel like holding a big like qualifying tournament in the very like start of a set is kind of
that was not it.
That's not ideal in my opinion.
Yeah, people I think it's gonna happen again though this set.
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen again this set.
All right, well,
that's not a fact. I haven't been told anything, but I'm pretty sure the format looks very similar to the set 6 format from what I have heard. Which probably means that we're having a Piltover Cup equivalent on December 28th plus 7 days again.
Hear me out. If you just take the set 6 competitive cycle and just move Piltover back by a patch, maybe 3 weeks. Perfect.
If they're not changing that's unfortunate. Okay, well, it is what it is.
Hey, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I just show up and say words.
Piltover Cup happened.
Yeah.
Then next patch hit, aka the worst patch of all time.
Katarina
legitimately the worst patch of all time. Oh, this was a great patch. Okay, yeah. So this was like 2-cost reroll, but this is the obligatory 2-cost reroll OP patch, right? For every I feel like every set has one of those patches, right? This one was Cat and Trundle. Trundle was also in there. They actually had to B-patch this patch because Scion was also broken. So if anybody remembers, Scion used to like do lots of damage with his ult. So you just play him with Imperials and Socialites with like a JGIE, and he would just kill boards, and you couldn't do anything because he couldn't get CC'd, and you just lost. And like there's actually nothing you could do. Like legitimately nothing. Scion's targeting is too smart. Scion can't be CC'd. Scion kills your whole board, and you can't do anything about it. So they B-patched it out. What they didn't B-patch out was Katarina, which was level 6 one-shotting every single backline carry in the game. Trundle was unkillable, and the worst part is there's a targeting bug where if you ulted, your auto-targeting changed completely to some random unit in front of you, instead of like how it always has been, which is you ult and then you go back to hitting the same unit. So that completely stopped. So 11.23 and 23B were sort of plagued by not only this bug, but also like the double socialite hex bug, where if you have the augment, share the spot. No, not that one. What is it?
I forgot about that.
Duolingo? Duet?
Duolingo? Huh?
If you have Duet, like the way that it was coded into the game is that the Duet spot always exists. And even if you don't have the augment, the Duet spot is still there. So all you have to do is you got to play a guessing game, and you just need to figure out where the Duet spot is, and you get all of the socialite bonuses on 2 spots without an augment. And so everybody was playing socialite, and everybody was abusing all of this garbage, gross bugs and gross comms and people were open forwarding for Katarina, and I was telling people to hold Cats because the most cringe comp of all time. Oh my gosh.
It was kind of a shit show for
it was awful. I completely stopped streaming. Because I was harassed in chat.
What would happen is that come 3-2, it felt kind of similar to the Forgotten stuff, and like when Forgotten was so broken in set 5, because come 3-2, all the cat players hit their cat 2, and you just get 6-0'd.
Yeah, and like
you just start getting 6-0'd like crazy.
My least favorite, like, I remember people were saying, well, the comp isn't even that strong in the late game. It's like, it doesn't matter what happens in the late game. If I have a 2-star MF, fully upgraded frontline, and I'm specifically positioning for the cat player, and she's still one-shotting everything, 1, because targeting bug makes it impossible to play against that comp, and 2, because it doesn't matter what you have on your unit. You can have whatever the fuck you want. She's still one-shotting your backline regardless of how you position. And it's like, who cares how it's performing in the late game? And this is what you have to deal with in the mid game. It's not fun. It's not healthy.
People crying about assassins is actually the funniest thing ever to me, for obvious fucking reasons.
I mean, the thing is that cat comp took 0 skill. You cannot argue with me.
That was one of the. That was potentially the least skillful assassin comp that's ever existed.
It's like
no flame, but Raditz hitting top 10, one tricking Katarina Raditz is not an assassin player.
It's just Katarina.
It was just
for
Katarina,
herself.
and he made a brand out of it while it was OP.
Oh,
And so he just
man.
abused it to top 10 and then fell back down after Cat got nerfed.
What a
We take those,
man.
though. I mean, if you're Ray, we take those.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Let's go, Ray.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
That's true. It takes, like,
Yeah.
I don't fault people for playing the comp. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's no justifying that comp. There's no.
As
no,
a Cat
like-
abuser, yeah, there's no justifying it whatsoever.
Yeah. No justifying.
Trying to say like, oh, it wasn't that bad. You're on some good shit. I'll take what you're having. You know, I'll take some of that.
So after the Cat, so she did get nerfed going into 11.24, and then we saw the rise of what might be some of the most iconic, like one of the most iconic metas in like TFT history now. I feel like, which is. So not Ligma is not part of that comment. Ligma was a thing. Cogma was very strong. But the iconic part was Kaisa legendary boards started popping up, which was the Archangel, Morello, GA, Kaisa, like you just quick 8, you'd roll down on 4-2 with like 1 billion gold, you'd hit one Kaisa, you know.
Well, the thing about that board actually, it wasn't about Kaisa. It was legitimately you could get any legendary you wanted as long as you had those items. It doesn't matter. Like you go to 8, you just hit 1. You could hit a Victor, you could hit an Akali, you could hit freaking Thomas Kench, you could hit Kaisa, you could hit whoever, but you know, whichever one of these 4 you wanted to, you stick the items on your legendary and you watch them go, you know, no upgraded units, all 3 socialites on your board, just, you know, watch it go like a Beyblade and kill everything. And there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yep. TK was a really popular carry that patch too, right? Because Socialite TK was like just destroying games.
Yeah.
TK, Kaisa, like those boards were like that was a meta.
what a meta it was.
Yeah,
Dax had such a good time that I remember Dax saying he was so happy during that patch.
the resident 5 cost flaker. in Dax. And then there was, so event-wise, there was lab partners where there was, I mean, Kevin can talk about his.
Oh, what a shit show. Oh, God. I hate that event so much.
That whole weekend was something. You know what, though? That was my first, weekend. That was my first, multi-day event cast for Giant Slayer.
Oh, snap.
So,
Pago.
Special place in my heart, but, the first day of that. So, for anyone who didn't catch it at the time or forgot, it was supposed to be a double up tournament that was on Tournament Realm, but Tournament Realm with double up just broke. So they had to swap to playing standard what the 2v2s, the 2v2s old format, yeah. So just manual 2v2s, not double up, nothing special. You can still face each other, just 2v2.
The worst, we had to wait 2 whole hours while they were running around trying to because they couldn't contact the Tourney Realm people because they weren't working. So it was the two options were this. You either play on the old patch where targeting bugs still exists on a separate Tourney Realm.
I forgot about that.
Or you play on live. You play on live where you can't play double up.
It was 11:23. It wasn't 11:23B. It was 11:23. So it had Socialite Scion, old Katarina, pre-nerf, and this was Katarina in B patch was still absurd and meta, and that was after a nerf. So it was pre-nerf Katarina.
And still targeting bug.
Bug.
Oh my goodness.
So
and I just remember this might have been where the seed of me really disliking tournaments came, but oh man, I just remember sitting there in call with GV8 for 2 whole hours and just thinking to myself, how in the hell is this logistically possible? How is this? What in the world happened where nobody checked to see that we could even play double up on this Tourney Realm thing? So because double up you still can't do in-house lobbies, right? On the current client, you can only set that up in Tourney Realm. So when we got into that first game, we we had the in-house thing set up. We had like the lobby set up. We entered, and then boom, you're playing singles, and we were just like, what is happening? And then they were like, oh shit, this is bad. We had to stop a game, and then 2 hours of downtime, and then 1v1v1 format. And I was just like, oh my god.
Wait, Kevin, you want a fun leak from like behind the scenes? So like you and Goose won day one, right?
Yeah, we won day one.
So when we were setting y'all up for the interview in the production call, they were like, okay, so RamKev especially has been very outspoken, so we're just gonna tell him we're just gonna hope he doesn't like say anything too bad, and if it does, then we're gonna wrap it up real quick.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even think I mentioned it too much. I was like, yeah, it's unfortunate, but like in the chat, like in the tourney, in the Discord chat, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is happening? Oh man.
We literally the caster / interviewers literally got warned. Just so you know,
Fun times.
There's also the infamous clip of day 2 of Kevin's Urgot 3 losing to a Cho'Gath 2.
Urgot 3 cannot kill
Cho'Gath 2.
Yeah, baby. Default last whisper GS can't kill a Cho'Gath 2. Runs over my whole board. I'm just sitting there like, holy shit. I sacked for this. I told GVA I can hit Urgot 3. I hit the Urgot 3. I was like, oh baby, we're in it. We're about to clap everybody, and then I just tweeted Urgot 2. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Whatever, man. Whatever. I go next.
That was patch 11.24 in a nutshell. And you know what's funny is that because patch that was the end of the year. It's funny is that even though I feel like we've had a lot of like things to complain about and talk about how like broken shit was, I feel like I had more fun in that, like in those 4 patches, than I've had in a really long time with TFT. Like shit was still so fun, in my opinion. It was like it just goes to show how cool augments were. Because like as much as we like to talk about the bad parts, because there were definitely some bad parts, and a lot of stuff we can complain about. There was also stuff like Double Up coming out, right? Maybe not for tournament, but Double Up came out.
Yeah. But on live, you play with your friends. Yep. Great time to do the Kiyun looking for girlfriend stream. You can queue up.
Yeah. We had augments, right? The game was just changing in a lot of really good ways. And like I think is broken as some things right at the beginning of the set. Like there have been some sets where like it's like almost unplayable at the beginning of the set, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, so I feel like the balance was never as bad as like we can think about like 4.5 when Rakan came out, for example.
Yeah. Because RC Rakan just won the game. RC Sunfire Rakan just wins the game instantly.
Yeah. You can't do anything. None of your units do damage. It's like if you had Cho'Gath 2, but it was Rakan 2.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that was the end of 2021. And the beginning of set 6. So the rest of set 6 happened pretty quickly, actually. There were 3 more patches. 12.1, 12.2, 12.3. 12.1 was what the Challenger Series was played on, the first Challenger Series. And it was like Shaco and just 4 costs is the meta. Shaco was really fucking broken on this patch. They buffed him like 10 ways to Tuesday.
Yeah. Shaco was quite strong.
It was like, really diverse meta, honestly.
Yeah.
The entire back half of set 6 was like pretty balanced and pretty diverse.
Yeah, so. I really enjoyed back half of set 6. I think that they it was quite nice, I think, overall. There were a lot of comps you could play. There were a lot of there wasn't anything that I remember. Like, I think a lot of people were upset about Shaco. But, like, honestly,
I
would take Shaco over Katarina any day of the week. Any day of the week, I would take Shaco over Katarina.
That was the difference. Yeah.
Like, either you deal with a single target carry that, like, just goes intangible sometimes, or you deal with a unit that nukes your entire backline. regardless
Yeah,
of
I
how
kind
you
of
position.
felt like he did sometimes with Rudans, but
Yeah.
yeah, he came back into line pretty quickly as well. Yeah, because I think so. Set 12.1 was like the Shaco meta. Everyone was playing Shaco like syndicate boards, and then Forecast was really popular. And that was Challenger Series, and then the next, which I think I really enjoyed that tournament. That's like one of my favorite tournaments of the set, probably. And then 12.2 was the Imperials meta, where Imperials because Imperials were not like they weren't necessarily terrible the whole set. They were just like in a weird spot. Like the units don't really want to be played as a vertical because they don't do things together. And then like 12.2 came around. They're like, okay, we're gonna shove Imperials down your throat because we're now gonna make it that they're so good you can't help but play them together.
Yeah,
Even
you
if
have,
they
to,
don't
you
do
have to
anything.
play 5. If you have the chance to play 5 Imperials, just stick your Imperial stat on anybody you want.
Yes, it was very popular. Talon reroll was really popular. This was like pre-Riley Talon. This was
See, I did start spamming Talon towards the end of set 6. So like it got started, then it just really got going with Debonair.
I mean, the scarier thing was Swain reroll, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You roll up on a 5 Imperial Swain, you're just praying that he's, because this is where Swain was positioned, right? Either you're in like the top left over. Wait, am I pointing at the top left or the top right?
You're
either here or here, right?
Yeah.
And you want your carry to be on the other side, and if it's not, I guess if you're listening to the podcast, you don't even know. I'm just pointing to the upper left or the upper right corner. So
See, saying that would have made everything so much easier.
If you're just praying that like your team is as far away from that Swain as possible, because Swain ults and your team dies, and that's how it works. It's Swain ults, and whatever is in front of the Swain is just gone,
dead, and he heals the full. Yeah, it was a crazy unit.
Yeah,
he was something special.
What a guy.
Yeah, so this was the patch that Zon Cup was on. Zon Cup, probably the most controversial tournament of the set, I would say.
Oh, what a great tournament. What a fantastic tournament.
Yeah. You can talk about it if you want, Kevin.
Oh,
but if you
yeah,
don't want to okay. Stuff, that's fine.
I think I was really upset for that tournament because I legitimately thought that like I was probably the best player on that patch. Like I remember after Zon Cup, I was so pissed afterwards that I went into solo queue. And I was just so angry that I cranked out like 7 firsts in a row, and I went from like 1300 to 1600 LP in one night. And I was like so angry at everything afterwards because like for those that don't know, like Zon Cup day 1 was the same like 3-game elimination cutoff, 3-game elimination format, and I went like 2-1. I actually remember I didn't go like I went exactly 2-1, 3-4, 4-5 was my score. And because the 4-4-5 on the back end is like relative, it wasn't enough to break top 4 in the lobby that I was in. So I was forced. It was like a tiebreaker that I lost on. But basically, yeah, I was like so done with tournaments after that. I was like, there's legitimately nothing for me to get out of this anymore. It's like, because it doesn't feel good because like I feel like I legitimately played well during that tournament, and like it was just very sad because like I felt like I was so good at that point in set 6. Like at that point in set 6, I felt like I could legitimately be the best player. But like you do poorly on this day 1, and you just don't have any chance at any other tournament in the rest of the set, right? Which was unfortunate,
even, right?
Yeah, like I couldn't even move on to the second day. I couldn't play second day 3, and it was unfortunate. But I think the patch itself was like super good. Obviously, like most patches that are like I'm very happy whenever like the patch itself is like super diverse, and I think that's when like I tend to perform very well. And by then you could play like Heimerdinger reroll, you could play all of the 4 costs. There were still some decent like 2 cost reroll comps. You could play like Twitch, you could play legendaries. It was a very very like great meta. But I just oh man. It was so sad.
Yeah.
Dawn Cup was like just an awful experience. What a bad time.
It spurred a lot of conversation about like the tournament format and how to avoid shit like that happening again, right? Because like it's insane. Like that you go 4-4-5 3 games, you know, get to take stuff to going like 1-1-1, right? It's just it's not exactly what you want to see for like really rewarding like the best players on the patch and stuff. So that was, I think, a big turning point in like, the conversation surrounding tournaments and like what format should be. And I think it there's been a lot of good conversation since then, right? I think.
Yeah, I mean,
for
like
sure.
one thing we can look at is now nobody uses 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, right? And I think I don't know if I'm being presumptuous in saying that. Like, I feel like my twit longer was like actually, you know, a point in adjusting this, because like I honestly felt like at least in the NA competitive TFT scene there was, you know, zero impetus to get that changed at all. Like it just felt like people thought there was zero reason to change that, because nobody was like people were upset at, like people were like, you know, this doesn't seem like the right point format, but they weren't saying like, oh, none of the players are saying anything, so like why would we change it in the first place? But I think that, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the thing is, I feel like a lot of people, at least for NA, like a lot of people weren't even sure like what we could change, like what needed changing, right? Like, 'cause we're so new to the whole esports scene thing that it's like what exactly can we change? What like needs changing? What should we focus on? And I think I super do think that your twit longer and just like you talking about your students on cup and stuff was a huge like. Maybe not call the arms is probably the wrong term, but like, you know, factor in like all these adjustments being made to the tournament format for the better.
I think there's also a whole thing with like the twit longer meta, because that started in set 6, and maybe this is just me. I think that like especially in set 6 until like RamKev like came along with that twit longer, a lot of like Soju had twit longer, Kyun did, Kurun probably did at some point. Pretty much everyone big has written a twit longer at this point, but it's more they're just like complaining and almost like disillusioned, and not like, oh, I want stuff to change. It's just, this is the issues and I'm complaining. And it's, I mean, I'm not faulting them for just complaining. It's they don't see enough of a future in TFT as a competitive game specifically, that they're like, oh, I want to see all this changed. I feel like for Kevin, it almost was different, because it's like, as TFT is right now, well, from Kevin's mindset, it's like, okay, TFT is not competitive right now, but it could go in that direction, and I want it to go in that direction because I love playing this game, and I want that to happen again. Which that twit longer was coming from I'm disillusioned at the state of the game right now, but I think it can go somewhere. And a lot of twit longers are just disillusioned without thinking it can go anywhere. And I think that's the difference. And that's partially why like some of these twit longers that came up that are like, I have some like solutions, and okay, I really want to talk about this. And that's what got like an actual conversation started. And now we're really trying to make strides to like improve the competitive scene. So
yeah, I mean, like, I think one of the big things, I feel like a lot of the other twit longers, at least the ones that I've read, they're like somewhat criticizing the game, which I never attempted to do. You know, like, I've always been like pretty content with the game outside of set 5, which we don't mention.
In Katarina?
We don't talk about set 5, but
I liked set 5. I liked Horsey.
Oh, I hated set 5. I quit in set 5.
I actually kind of liked set 5. I feel like I'm a weirdo for that.
All I remember is a bunch of blue and green and red, and
okay, I like set 5
and Shadow Blue buff. But yeah, no, I think like,
well, fuck Shadow Blue buff, but other than that, I really did like set 5. So okay, y'all can shut up.
I think a lot of the times people would criticize tournaments by just calling them RNG fest, which is like, that's not really enough, right? Like, you can't just say a tournament is an RNG fest and leave it at that, and that's why tournaments are bad, right? But like, when you legitimately bring like these like specific issues, like anecdotal evidence, like honestly, like anecdotal evidence in these scenarios is like already probably enough, I would say. And like when you can bring those to life and say like, okay, this is where the problem is, and it needs to be addressed. I feel like that's, it actually highlights that, things actually can be fixed and need to be changed, right? Because like when you say a TFT tournament is an RNG fest, it doesn't really sound that convincing to anybody, right? Like,
yeah, if
TFT is a game of RNG, of course there's RNG in the tournaments, right? Like, obviously that's going to be there, but like when there are these specific, blatant issues that you can see right in front of you, you're like, that's not right. That doesn't make. Why are we playing on a 3-game elimination?
If TFT was just an RNG fest, then why are tournaments being like, why are the top placers in tournaments so consistent? Like,
yeah, I mean,
Appies won 2 tournaments. Like Nubal and Soju were the 2 big names in set 6.5 Challenger Series finals, and they top 2'd. Like, Milk fucking winning regionals and him being such a mainstay of the game. How is any of that, like, if the game wasn't an RNG fest, so much less of that would be happening. So,
yeah, for sure.
That's not
like,
the issue.
I don't think there's anything to criticize about like the game itself, but like, yeah, just like, when I was going through my score, they're like 2, 1, 3, 4, 4, 5. Like, how is this ever possible? Like, how can this ever be possible? Because it's not like mediocre scores. It's not like low roll. Those are
scores.
Legitimately, I low rolled my ass off, and I still got like managed to get like really good scores, but that wasn't enough because the format was so bad that they like it just didn't go through. It wasn't enough because it was a 3-game cutoff. So you can like you could take a random sampling of 6 numbers, right? And if you take the bot 4 of those 6 numbers and you just put those in that 3 side, like the probability of doing like the bot 3 numbers in like a 6 number sampling being in like a 6 its own set is like it's not that low. It's really not that low, and like it doesn't matter how good the other numbers could be. If you get like, I could go like 1 1 1 4, like I could go 1 1 1 1 4 8, right? Think about those scores, right? Like I top 5, I top 4 every single game. I go first in 4 of them. I get 1 top 4. That's the 4th. One bad game is an 8th. That could still end up not qualifying. That's the thing. That could still end up not qualifying, and that's like, yeah. I mean, like when that's sort of like a possibility in the format, it really like brings like, because like that's not like low rolling or anything. Like you can't say like you look at those scores and you can't say like, oh, I just didn't play well, or oh, I low rolled. It's like, oh, I played my ass off and I still didn't make it, and it has nothing to do with how other players did, how whatever it was. It's just how the tournament was set up, which is like,
that's what we want to avoid, right?
Yeah.
That is exactly what we want to not have happen. I think if there's like one thing, because like the rest of set 6, right? Base set 6 was just mid set after this patch, and so I think we can wrap talking about 6 and 6.5. But I think if set 6 was like characterized by anything, I think it was just like even 6.5 as well with this. I think people might say like, what is the lifespan of TFT? Like, you were talking about the tweet longers, and some people were like not giving solutions, really, or not giving solutions, just like complaining and like not really looking at like what the game could be, or like caring what the game could be, etc. But I feel like that like if these 2 sets show us anything, is that there are a ton of very, very passionate people from every side, right? There's insanely passionate players like Kevin, insanely passionate developers like Morthog and Kent and Whitrock and everyone like that, and there are insanely passionate tournament organizers and the whole Giant Slayer team. Even beyond Giant Slayer team, like there's Aegis, there's Boise, there's so many other tournaments beyond even like the official Riot stuff that EMEA as well have like an amazing tournament scene. And I'm sure like China's is amazing too. I don't know anyone who runs them, but like there are some people who care so much about this game. Yeah, there's people who care so much about this game and like the future of this game. from every perspective that like TFT really is something special, and it's going to continue to be something special as long as that passion stays there. And I think we're making good moves to keep that, keep the fire going. We're making changes for the better. With tournament formats, where like I don't know. I'm very hopeful for the future of TFT. I think it's an amazing thing. That's not like the end of the podcast. We still have set 6.5 to talk about.
It's true.
We haven't even talked about mid-set.
Oh yeah, mid-set.
Yeah, Kivix won mid-set.
Kivix won mid-set.
Playing like the craziest rule shit I've ever seen.
And still, the don't talk if you don't know power rankings at the end of set 6.5 fucking egoed this man. I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm partially responsible for that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
know they said that what's it called? Like you want to put high weight on tournament rankings, but I made it explicitly clear that I was not going to look at tournament rankings because I disvalue tournaments.
That's kind of fair, honestly.
Yeah, and so,
but like, still, he still played out of his fucking mind.
I've seen Kivix in some of my games, and I've seen a lot of questionable things.
The man,
the
man does not give a flying fuck about ladder.
Yeah, he just
ladder is literally just a limit test. I saw him re-roll 4 clockwork plus a Lowy plus Sedge 3 and went 5th. But I think he had fun. I think
that's when if I were paying attention to tournaments, it would most likely be slightly different. But
yeah, cool tournament though. I mean, Kivix winning that tournament was cool.
Yeah,
he played like some really. He had like a game of Vi3, so I can't really fault him for that. I'm gonna miss Vi. He cost Vi a lot. And so Kivix winning that wrapped up set 6. That was the end of set 6. And the next patch 12.4 introduced a whole new slew of everything. With the first patch, so there were no tournaments. The first there's no tournament in the first patch or the B patch for the first patch, because there was a B patch. But what was strong the first patch was Hextech, Sivir, particularly Hextech, Sivir, not Hextech and Sivir, and Renata were both
real menaces, real gross.
Yeah,
Monster literally got rank 1, 2020 Renata.
Yeah.
Noster is really good. Is he that good? I'm sorry, no.
Good old Renata Glass. Oh
yeah, the two very broken comps at the beginning of the set. Like Hextech there, I think the B patch at both of them, if I'm not mistaken, that happened. And then Irelia became like really popular. It was a very quick set. Thinking about because like Worlds happened like halfway through the set. So yeah, the first 2 patches were basically like Hextech was really broken, and then the B patch like fucking destroyed it, and then it was unplayable for a while without getting to 8 Hextech.
There was a C patch somewhere along the way. I don't remember.
There was a C patch somewhere that was just bug fixes.
I see.
So
okay. Yeah, they hit everyone basically. That was good, and then it was so there's an emote on Twitch called Irelia, and that emote must have been used so much come like 12.4b/12.5 because everyone was playing Irelia.
Socialite Irelia specifically.
Yeah, it was bugged, which no one knew. Socialite was giving her more damage for no reason.
Socialite, it was giving everybody, like if you were playing Socialite, the boat, and I think when people like looked at that and they thought about it a second, they were like, wait, we played through all of set 6, right, with Socialite in the game, and this bug probably still existed throughout the entirety of set 6 and nobody noticed. And that's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, but it got fixed.
Fixed. Irelia got put in the dirt. Actually, Irelia never got put in the dirt. Irelia was...
she's still playable. She got nerfed a lot though. But what she did get nerfed for was Innovation Cup, which happened in patch 12.5. So going into this Innovation Cup, there were like 2 big things being played. One was that whenever it was Synaptic Web, everyone just played Synaptic Web.
Oh my god!
Because it was fucking it's still pretty broken. It was like even more broken. It was just fucking crazy.
It was the same thing, but Malzahar, you don't even need an R. You just play Malzahar and you just do the same thing you would have done before, but with this 3-cost unit instead of a 4-cost unit.
But yep. It was a pretty fucked up comp. It was one of those things we talked about a little bit, so we won't beat it to death because we talked about it at the beginning of the set, like base set 6 as well. But it was like one of those things where like they didn't really want to nerf it because they had this idea of like, there's like kind of, for lack of a better term, like wet dream board of like having, your units casting over and over and over again, and like, it's kind of a fantasy kind of thing. So there's like blue buff, like shadow blue buff, basically kind of deal.
What is that one meme? Boys want one thing and it's disgusting.
Oh,
men want one thing.
It's disgusting.
And you just see blue buff Malzahar with a GP or something, Morellos or something, And was it this tournament where like was this the tournament where Appies did you got 100? Was it this? 100?
No, that was regionals. I got 100.
That was regionals. Okay. Oh, so this thing was still a thing in regionals because I remember. I think it might have been Kev Chin. Did Kev Chin play in regionals?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah, he did.
So they actually also got 100 HP wins.
Yes, they did.
And it was off of Malzahar drop, Mutant, play Mutant on board, never lose another round. Or never lose a round.
It was such a... Okay, we'll get to regionals, but it was such a weird tournament because day one, I 100 HP'd the first game, which I think was the first 100 HP win in like any like big NA tournament, and then Kevchin immediately gets another 100 HP win, like the game after me. It was fucking ridiculous. Mine wasn't from Snag Web. Mine was I hit Victor on I hit Victor on like stage 3, and then I hit Victor 2 and like 4-2 or 4-3 or something. It was gross. But yeah, so this tournament was Subnatural could never get play, and it was a lot of Irelia. Like Irelia was everywhere in Innovation Cup. I think so it was Irelia, and it was also Senna reroll. A Senna reroll with like Innovators was getting really popular. I think it was nerfed a little bit before this. Yeah, it was that patch.
Yordles was I played in Innovation Cup.
We both made day 3.
I just remember I played one Yordle game and it was lit. It was dope.
Yeah, Yordles were good on this patch. Yeah, they felt really good.
I took so small.
There was a decent amount of Corky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is before Corky got hit by the back. So I was also playing like a ton of 6 Yordle prepping for this tournament because it was good. It was
back
very good.
When Corky used to do damage, man.
I know.
Now none of them do any damage. You put a Lucian on your board, and it's like, oh no, it's late game, and I have a Lucian on my board. Save me.
Yeah. So Innovation Cup was on this patch. I think this was probably my favorite tournament of the set, just because it had my favorite game of the set.
Is it because you won?
It wasn't because I won. So that Nar game was really fun.
Oh,
it was like really, really fun.
The Nar game was about as close as TFT has gotten to a cultural reset. Like actually, like because I very distinctly remember like everyone's reaction to just seeing Appies is getting fucked. Okay, he's Omega rolling on 7. Okay, his board looks kind of meh. He's just got this Nar with fucking blue buff, Bloodthirster, sub-Unity, and some spat. It
was Chemtech spat.
Challenger Unity. That.
Yeah.
And that we're like, okay, he's win streaking. Okay, it's a Nar 3. Okay, what the fuck? He got second? When everyone at this point thought Nar was garbage. So
I could have won that game. I mispositioned really badly the last round, actually.
Like, I think that might be the happiest I've ever seen Mort watching someone. Him on Twitter.
He blessed me up on Twitter so much after that tournament.
And like that, I think that game and that tournament was like Appy's kind of big explosion because it's like, okay, you're already getting known in set 6, and then that.
Yeah, definitely.
Stop. But that was like the big breakthrough. Like winning, fun. But B like Mort fucking shouting you out so much. Yeah.
I was there. I was witnessing it. I saw the Nar popping off.
Yeah, it was. It was something. I think that game. I look back and think it was a really fun game. But I was having no fun until I hit an R3 because I was load rolling like crazy at the beginning of that game. Like I could not hit anything. I had no money. I had no items. It was like, oh, it looked so fun. So I was so pumped. That's one of those things where I don't know if either of you have ever been into cycling at all, but like during a long bike ride. Like it feels terrible. Like you're like, why am I doing this? Like I'm not having fun. I'm just like, it's just whatever. And then at the end, you're like, oh fuck yeah, that was awesome. I'm gonna do that again. Like that felt great. Oh, that's the same effect as the blue buff. No,
yeah, that's how I felt doing cross country in high school.
Yeah, I remember one time when I was doing track. You know, I was getting a stomach cramp, and my coach was like, "Yeah, you can run through it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I ran through it, and I felt great afterwards.
Yeah, it was one of those things like I like during it, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And after I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like hit me up with that tomorrow. I'm down.
Yeah,
like, I'm fucking big down. No, I was really happy with that tournament. It was really fun. You played like Twitch every game in the last day, Kevin.
Oh yeah, the storyline behind that was I was running my tweet longer. So
yeah,
in the Kevin Hates tournaments timeline, this was when I played the first. Okay, yeah, I actually did really well the first 2 days. I went like 2-2.
You popped off.
But yeah, I was just like sitting in these lobbies, and I went to like Spencer's stream and saw him playing Lost Ark, and then like like I just all of these other players coming in like, oh yeah, I didn't care. I didn't care about this tournament. I was just like sitting there so fucking pissed. I was like, holy shit. I hate everything right now. And so I was like, yeah, I was just writing my tweet longer on the final day. The difference is, Spencer was playing Lost Ark. He was showing it on stream. I didn't have my tweet longer above my stream window.
Yeah. I will say I'm also guilty of being in the didn't really care the first 2 days camp, because the thing with that tournament, right, is that a lot of people. So it was a really weird format in that if you qualified for that tournament, there's a big sense of people that if they qualified for the tournament, they were just into regionals, right? The Goobens and I were two people like that, where like as long as we qualified, we were into regionals. So I was like much more worried about just making sure I maintained my spot on ladder and stuff. I had like a couple sleepless nights just like making like watching ladder and like don't move. And so after that, I was like, okay, I'm in this tournament now, but like the hard part's already over, or like the stressful part's over. And so like day 1 and day 2, like most of day 2 as well, I was like, okay, I'm whatever. And at some point day 2, I was like, oh shit, like this is not how I want to play a tournament. I feel like I'm just being a shitter right now. Like I felt like I guess guilty is a word for it. I was like I like TFT a lot. Like I love this game and I love the competitive scene for this game, and I am actively hurting it by not giving a shit about this tournament. And somehow I managed to get a first last game, which like made me win the tiebreaker versus Noster to get to day 3. So
Noster lost tiebreaker on day 2 again.
If Ramblin' wasn't synonymous with losing tiebreakers now, Noster would be the one.
Yeah, Noster.
Yeah, because Noster
I think has actually lost more tiebreakers than Ramblin'.
By tiebreakers,
but Ramblin' has lost more prolific ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like he's lost multiple tiebreakers, I think, to go to Worlds at this point.
Yeah, but you can
3. I think 3 tiebreakers to go to Worlds.
I mean, I don't think. No, it's been set 4 and set 6 were the 2.
Yeah,
and then this last one.
Wait,
did he lose? 6 was last chance qualifier.
Did he lose? He didn't lose a tiebreaker in set 6 regionals.
No.
Okay, he was just one placement off. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, and then the tiebreaker
because DQA made it in off of
tactical FF.
The FF,
tactical FF. But Ramble is basically next in line, I would say. But like right on the cutoff, and then tiebreaker in last chance qualifier, which is big sad.
Like, come on, he's cursed. He's so cursed.
But,
one day he'll make it. I mean, if there's something about
so fucking good.
If there's something about curses, they are meant to be fucking broken. So it'll get broken.
He's definitely been on the lower end of variance, like over his entire. He's I think he has a big enough tournament sample size where, like, obviously you can't say like he's rolled every game or anything, but he's definitely on the lower end of variance like, overall, and he is so good, so he will get there.
Part of me wonders if his playstyle like opens himself up to low rolling, because I feel like he low rolls so much, and I feel like that can't be a coincidence. But also, I'm not smart enough to figure that out. So,
I think if there's anything there that like goes with low rolling, it's probably how much he rolls at 3-2 potentially.
I think it's
like if you miss on 3-2, it can be real bad.
Yeah, I think that might be what it is. Like, I feel like I see him miss on 3-2 a lot, but that's also because it's kind of easy to, and he also does roll a lot on 3-2.
I think it depends, because like one thing that people don't talk about is even if you roll on 3-2, like missing is also partially controlled by the player, right? Because you can see units, right? And if you don't see those units, then you won't pick them up, so you won't hit them. Right.
I feel for sure. There's rolling on 3-2 is actually really hard, and I think like
it's super hard.
I think like the opposite end of the spectrum is Spencer. Like I think Spencer might be one of the best 3-2 rollers I've ever seen. Like,
I think Ramblin is as well. I think he's like fucking amazing at this 3-2 roll downs. I think it's just like when you make 3-2 roll downs like a big part of your game plan, it can be kind of rough, but like it has to be in a lot of situations. Right, you have to roll in 3-2 in all situations.
Yeah,
I think he's
especially if you're in a like if you are losing, you cannot afford to not roll on 3-2.
Yes.
Like if you've lost at least 4 out of the 6 rounds going into 3-2, and you're just like, oh yeah, babe, unless you're like full open fort, full econ, planning on going to level 7. Which, like, nobody does anymore because there's no comp where you really want to do that, right? But, like, unless you're planning on doing that, you're spending your goal on a 3-2,
Yeah.
And, So it'll make or break a lot of, like, there have been tourney games where, like, I actually remember, like, my last game in Zon Cup, like, my early game was so doomed, and I did this 3-2 roll down, and I had, like, the shittiest board imaginable, and it was just getting me by, and I was like, holy shit. Every single round I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna fucking lose this round, and I managed to like win every round, but like it's so stressful when you like don't have a good 3-2 roll down.
Oh, agreed. You can even argue that like the reason why Ramblin has to roll 3-2 so much is just because he low rolls in stage 2 a lot.
Yeah.
No, sometimes 3-2 roll downs can be super fucked. They're like definitely super high skill cap, and I do think that like as much as it might open like they play like Ramblin up to low rolling, like I think he has to on spots because he maybe just low roll stage 2, and he is like fucking amazing at it. Like he is definitely one of the best like 3-2ers in TFT right now, because he's just super experienced with like what he needs to take, how deep he needs to roll. It's super impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, chat can't hear you, Riley. I think your audio might have been messed up.
I had to turn my mic off because there was a fucking cart outside and my window's open. And I was fuck. Thank you, y'all.
Sorry, I said that really late. I was like reading chat. I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And I was like, oh wait, I can say something.
So I think Ramblin. Did y'all catch? I said Ramblin is the best stage 4 player in the server.
I don't think chat did. We did.
Okay.
I don't know if chat did.
Okay, so I think Ramblin is the best stage 4 player in the server onward. Stage 4 onward player in the server. He's good at stage 2. He's good at stage 3. He's not the best, but especially when you hear him talk about the game and like all these little interactions with the higher cost, more expensive units, then you see how much he knows. And I think that's part of what makes him the best in the server at stage 4 onward. And that's what really carries him, because like, yeah, he's good at stage 2, stage 3. He low rolls a lot, and I think some of that gets attributed to he's not the best at those 2 stages. And then 4-1 hits, and then he is the godliest player you will ever see in your fucking life. So that's just my read.
He's a good guy.
I love him so much. He's also just such a good guy.
Agreed.
And I like that hearing him talk about the game and like how many like details he knows. That's why I think would make him a great like analyst desk person at some point, because he can go like, my whole thing with casting is like retired pro, but it's more the like delving into details, because I'm the same way. I see a lot of details. My mind is super detail oriented, and I think Ramblin's the same way. And he would be great for an analyst desk if he were if he retires at some point, or even while he's still playing, if there's a tournament he's not playing in, and we get Analyst Desk as a segment, then yeah, get rambling. He's perfect.
Agreed. So the regionals patch. Speaking of regionals a little bit, there were 2 tournaments. There was Challenger Series and regionals on 12.5B.
Warwick.
Warwick, Synaptic Web, Sivir, Darkstar. Those are the big hitters.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, no.
So I will say, as much as I would obviously love to have seen some new people come up, New Bowel and particularly Soju winning Challenger Series is the best timeline for TFT. Because Soju at regionals makes regionals much more important to the average TFT.
I had the whole call on the cast
and legit,
centered around that holy shit, Soju actually made it to fucking regionals.
I'm pretty sure Soju for overall tourney viewership, at least for an NA tournament, if he's not there, you can think about it, because Soju will bring in let's say baseline 15,000 people. The normal broadcast typically doesn't go above I don't know, 1K. Does that sound
no?
About?
It's
I think regionals 4 or 5K.
4 or 5K.
It usually caps out around 4 or 5. It's normally around 2-3, I think.
Yeah, 2-3 sounds about right. Yeah, I'm just bad with the numbers. I just know because whenever I go onto Twitch, Soju is sitting at the top of my followed list.
Yeah,
by a huge margin. It's 15K every single time, and it's holy moly, he brings it up by legitimately 300%.
Yeah, no, it's
the value.
Literally the best timeline.
300% of your viewership. If you lose him, you say goodbye.
Yeah. If you lose Soju, no one cares about regionals anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just I was very happy about that. And then regionals came around, and it was a pretty cool tournament.
Yeah, it was a cool tournament.
I will say, I think it is for me personally, I have never. I think I've definitely played worse in a tournament, because I played really poor. I played kind of bad TFT in set 5 and 4. I think in general, but after I got good at TFT, I guess I think this is by far the worst one I've played, because I was so nervous on day 2. I think day 1 I played okay, and day 2 I played some of the worst TFT I've played in a very long time. I was just making so many little mistakes. I lost placement. I didn't get to day 3 on a tiebreaker to Inika, but there were a billion spots I could have gotten points. So I just I made infinite mistakes. I was fucking nervous. I don't know. I was I do something, I was immediately oh god, why'd I do that? Or we talk about tournaments a lot, and tournament mindset, and if you second guess yourself in a tournament, it's bad. Your mental falls apart.
Oh yeah.
I have
especially a game like TFT. I think is the moment you second guess yourself is just because everything is sort of based off of your knowledge base, and when you second guess yourself, you're saying my knowledge base is not good enough. And when your knowledge base is not good enough. You're what am I gonna get anything else from?
I had one kind of low roll game to start the day, which I think it was low roll for the angle I took, but I could have taken a better angle anyways. And my mental just fucking blew up. It was bad after that. At some point I let my carry get blitz hooked. Oh. And I lost. I was so, yeah, I don't know. It was a fun tournament still, but I think I've gotten past all the anxiety / performance anxiety. Can I say that? For TFT, not in
I think
other
that's the thing for sure. Yeah,
I've gotten over that.
You had a lot of expectations, and
I was there were people were expecting me to do super well, and I was come on. That's kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
pressure
from
yourself. It's very hard to get over. I'm
glad that my mental's kind of shot back.
Musician, I know what it's like.
I actually can't imagine having to play under those conditions, because every tournament that I've played in is just there have been zero expectations, which is that is legitimately the greatest thing of all time. Because man, I remember when I played in set 4 regionals and nobody knew me, and nobody was I was topping all of the lobbies and nobody was saying anything. I was I'm gonna show every single one of these players in the lobby, and every single TFT person, like how wrong they are, and it was so easy to just like
yeah.
But like when you actually have to like deal with like it's sort of like the psychology thing, right? Like if you start thinking about the results and you thinking about like what you need, like what you have to do, or like the result that you have to get in order to like, you know, sort of reach that goal, that's when it sort of falls apart because you can't focus on the here and now kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I did a really good job not getting affected by that, as like I was kind of coming up through set 6. Like I think like Innovation Cup, my mindset it wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't bad. Like I don't think I played amazingly at Innovation Cup in general. Besides like I think day 3 I played really well, but besides that, I don't think I played super great. But like I think I did a good job like separating like people's expectations from like expectations for myself and stuff. And then like I don't know if I think it was just regionals like a bigger event and like there was a lot more at stake. But like I could not put it together mentally for regionals. It was bad. Like I think what I've realized, it's a little cringe, but I was watching, one of the things that like made my mindset kind of bounce back is that I had no idea like how I got better in set 6, right? For a while I had no idea like how to verbalize how I got better. And then I watched an anime the other day. I was watching a soccer anime. Yeah, this is why it's cringe.
Oh no! Yeah, anime is actually like
life advice.
I've had friends that watch like Ping Pong the animation and then get like infinitely better at Melee.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure. That's like the
know,
classic El Clasico for Melee. It's like you watch Ping Pong and
you're
a top player.
When I was like playing at Worlds, legitimately before I went to bed, I would open up episode 18 of ReZero and I would watch that episode.
Oh shit!
For reasons, and then
no, it helps. Like it really does. Like the advice I got from this episode is that someone was talking about this girl was like talking about her favorite soccer player, and she was like, "Yeah, he got good because he just thought about the game. He thought about soccer all the time, like constantly." And I was like, "Holy shit, that's how I got good at the game." Because I realized that like in set 6, and I was getting good at the game. Like I just constantly thought about the game, right? Like I dream about it. I think about it whenever I had like a spare second. Like I was, I was like doing. I think about TFT over like doing other things, but like whenever I wasn't doing anything, or like whenever I was like my mind was just wander, it was like always a TFT, right? So I feel like I'd like played every unit a billion times because I had thought about them all so much. And then I realized that like by the end of set 6, I was getting like nervous to do that. Because I was like I don't want to think about TFT, because if I think about TFT, like this fragile like set of expectations for myself that I've set up and that like people have set up for me, like we're just gonna crumble if I think about it. And so I was like worried about I fixed it though, because I think I played super, super well in PBE Clash, which made me really happy. But yeah, that was my regional experience.
And then Worlds.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so the Worlds representatives. I mean, for NA it was Milk, GB8 or Goose, DQA, and
Mr. Goobums.
Mr. Goobums.
Mr. Goobums. Yep.
Yeah, I remember. Oh man, I was super hyped when GBA made it to Worlds.
Oh, me too.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been around fucking forever.
Yeah, it was dope. Because like I think GBA is like a lot of the analysts will say that like at least up until before this, like there's just like GBA can't do tournaments, and it's gotta feel. I mean, he said it on the stream before. Like it probably felt like so good, to like have these people just say like, oh yeah, he can't play tournaments, and just like come in and pop off and be like, nah, you guys are all wrong. Like that is a great experience. Like I know from experience.
Yeah,
it feels so good.
As now a professional player criticizer, I love when I criticize a player for something and they prove me fucking wrong. It shows like they grew as a player and they overcame some weakness which usually from like the casters, criticisms tend to be fair. We tend to know what we're talking about. So like at the time, criticism, true. Player gets the fuck over it and improves and proves us fucking wrong. We'd love to be proven wrong, just for what it's worth. Like, so like, and I've said the same thing about Goose of his style. Like, it's great for ladder, as him being aggressive is good and all, but he plays the exact same in tournaments. There's no adaptation. It just falls flat. And then he adapted and fucking proved us wrong. And good for him.
Yeah, it was like definitely one of the best timelines to see Goose do so well at Worlds. Because like the thing about Goose is that I think, so I'm definitely part of this, this like generation, quote unquote generation of TFT players that kind of grew up on watching like Goose and Polt play in like set 3, right? And like I don't know, Goose is like
yeah.
he's like I'm not gonna say my TFT dad, but like my TFT role model.
Yeah, I remember like in set 2, like the first game, like I like in set 2, I just watched Goose. That was like he was the only one that I watched, and I remember like the first time I ended up in his lobby, I was like, oh my god, I have to say something, and I won the game. I think I've told this story before, but I was playing like 8 Ocean Lux. And then at the end of the game, I was like, "Oh my god, GV8! I'm such a big fan. I subbed to you yesterday." And that was my message.
Amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's so cool. I remember the first time I got in a lobby with him in set 6 or set 3, like 3.5. I was like, "Holy shit! I'm in a lobby with the Grand Vice 8 right now." Like watching him as like cued into him. I was like, "Holy shit! Like this is mind-boggling."
Yeah.
I don't know. He is such a cool guy, and like he's such a good player. And like his play style, like I feel like his play style is used as like has been used as the basis for so many players as they've gotten better at the game, right? There's like this whole generation of like sweaty players who just play really aggro TFT or like play like pretty flexible TFT, who just like if you ask them where they started how they started playing, like they're all like, "Oh, I watch Goose," you know. Yep. Goose and Polt. Those are my TFT forefathers.
And now he's going to be an actual dad.
Yeah, which is awesome.
He's joining the TFT dad meta. There's a decent amount now. It's him, Bryce, Socks. Who else?
Him, Bryce, Socks.
I have an announcement.
Gangly?
Oh, yeah, Gangly.
Yeah.
Yep, Gangly. Yep.
I also have an announcement.
I am not a dad. It will not be a dad anytime soon.
Yeah, I am also not pregnant. I am not preggers.
I'm gay. That's the announcement.
Pog you? Hey, no Pogo that time. We're learning. We're out here learning. No, I mean, yeah, Goose doing super well. Goobums as well, doing super well was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember, okay, I don't think Goobums remembers this probably, but I remember in set like 3.5 or like 4 when I was getting good at the game, like I was like hitting challenger for the first time and stuff. Goobums was in like all my games, and he added me, and we were like, it was like this is before either of us were like well-known players. I think this was like maybe the beginning of set 4 where he started becoming a well-known player with like keepers and stuff. So it's like crazy to see. Or he added me, and like we talked a little bit, but I don't know. It's just very cool to see. I think Goobs I kind of qualifies like a player from like that. Like my generation of TFT players, like coming up with like around like set 3, set 4.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very cool to see him have so much success. And like, again, just an awesome guy. And hopefully, best to him always, Glad he popped off.
It's super cool. We had like 2 Worlds reps from the old guard and 2 Worlds reps like from set 4. Kind of wish we could have had one that was like a little bit newer, like Appies, or I guess even Dish Soap would have been kind of cool, but an even newer player. But it's cool that we had that mix of these 2 fucking ancient like OG gods mixed with these 2 like newer set 4 players. So good mix of generations.
Imagine it was like you could have someone from every generation, just like. Have like a Dish Soaper and Asa with like a Goobums or a me, and like a Goose or like a Socks.
I feel like at least like when they became known like competitively, so you're more like set 6. But Goobums and DQA both came up competitively in set 4. So
true, yeah.
I remember
like a Kevin Goobums DQA.
I remember because DQA. DQA took the last spot in finals in set 4 because of one fucking item. One item off a carousel mistake. I should have, if I had taken one different item on one carousel, I would have been in finals in set 4 regionals, and DQA wouldn't have gone to fucking Worlds. I'm still pissed. And this was when no one knew who the fuck I was. Like, I hadn't played a single tournament all set 4, one last chance qualifier when everyone was shitting on last chance qualifier. Like, why does this exist? It's just 4 fucking randos who are going to go 8th. Spoiler, I did not go 8th. So like everyone's egoing on me, and then I'm mad. It's fine.
It is what
I'm
it
fine.
is.
Everything's fine.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
We gotta live
It is
with
what it is. We are.
those regrets.
DQA constantly ratting everybody. The client. It's just a joke. First the carousel, then the tactical FF.
Yeah.
Just a massive rat.
Yeah, regrets like those are like they come hand in hand with competition, and especially in the TFT,
they
right?
do. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even already, I have my first set 7 regret, which is not moving my Shen to the other side in the last round in PvE Clash, and I tried to, and I just boomer handsed it. And because of that, my Triss immediately died, and I lost to Cheetux in the last round. That's my set 7 regret already.
Yeah, my set 7 regret is accidentally logging off the PvE client and not being able to get back into my account.
That's
classic.
That's
the classic.
That is the classic.
never fall for that. TFT players hate this one strategy. Never log off of your PvE account.
I mean, I still haven't logged on to. Actually, I have logged onto my PvE account to change my name from Jirachi to Talongorl.
Oh.
Which I'm still gonna. I changed my name on live to Talongirl.
Oh yeah, I was like,
oh.
I was in a game. I remember. Wait, which game was this?
I don't. They all blend together, but like, I'm pretty sure everyone knows at this point. It's me.
Yeah.
Everyone figured out real quick because who the fuck uses Chi-Chi, B Talon.
It has to be recent because I have not been playing too much live. Which reminds me, I need to get my Decay games.
I played some games drunk the other day for the first time in a very long time because I do drink Decay games, and Jack was in my lobbies actually. Oh, and he sweated Zephyr. Okay, this game. This game, he sweated Zephyr on me. I called him I think I called him a rat or something. I got top 4, then I FF'd after I could have won. I fucking just won the game, but someone in chat was like, "Do you ever FF here to save time?" And I just fucking FF'd like on like instinct. And I was like, "Wait, I could have won that game."
It's fine. Oh snap! Wait, I'm looking at my match history on live. My last game was a first with Titanic Force, Draven 3, BTIE Warmogs.
Oh shit!
Oh, okay. Hi. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure like the first game I ran into, Kevin, after the name change, like went over to your board, bounced in your face.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You're
like, is this Riley?
I know this person.
It's always the Chi-Chi that gives it away. Always.
It's a different one though.
Oh yeah, I swapped over. I did swap over to a different one because it's pink.
Oh,
that's it.
That's fair.
I'm still a Chi-Chi loyalist. Kevin, why aren't you a Chi-Chi loyalist?
Jinx is great.
Still?
I love Jinx.
Fucking betrayer of the fucking Church of Chi-Chi.
I love Powder.
Okay, so if people want to start some questions in chat, we're gonna have a few more things to talk about, then we're gonna wrap it up.
I have a very important send-off. Some pot friends.
Huh? We're pot friending right now?
Pot friending.
Set 7 Talon is not the same as set 6.5 Talon, and I will miss set 6.5 Talon forever.
I'm not pot friending for this.
Yeah, I'm down to not pot friend for this too.
I made y'all pot friend for Talon.
Halfway through it, I kind of figured out that this was coming.
Yeah, actually, I didn't. I got blindsided.
In all seriousness, though, like I actually will miss set 6.5 Talon. Like, okay, set 6.5 Talon, just as a unit, is a very boring assassin.
Yeah, I mean, I will be the 6.5 Talon.
I will be the first to admit that, but just like
it's a nice, straightforward, simple.
Yeah,
jumps on your back line. If it hits your carry, you lose.
It's easy, and it's, but there's still like positioning puzzles, and I do owe a debt, I guess, to set 6.5 Talon because of like, okay, I decided to just one trick this shit and make it my brand, and that
You got the patch notes.
I've literally gotten the patch notes from playing this champion, and it did like did do a decent amount for me, like as a name, and like people. I'm synonymous with a unit now, which is wild. It's like it's like a DQA like set 4 KO thing. It's like Sun Astro with Moonman still from set 4, and same thing with Yunter. It's like you still think about these players attached to that unit. And
yeah,
like
I
have that with Talon now, and it's wild. So like, yeah, I do kind of owe a debt to the set's Talon specifically, which is why I'm still going to keep my name as Talon Girl.
There you go.
But as long as Talon's in the set, my name will be Talon Girl. Am I actually going to be like one tricking Talon? I don't know. Probably not, but might as well keep it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean,
Talon what feels hard to one trick.
Like
probably.
peak, yeah. Oh, and Talon like as a comp was way harder than people gave it credit for. Especially because I'm in the lobby. Everyone starts positioning hard anti-assassins, and figuring out how to win a matchup with someone's positioned so specifically against you is actually pretty hard. And then you win it, and you're just so satisfied because you're like, I actually positioned well and like got this correct. So yeah. And also the whole thing, like getting in the patch notes, that's every one trick stream in like every game, just getting name dropped next to your champion in the patch notes. That's how you know when you made it. So
true.
That's my send-off. I will very much miss this unit. That's all.
I'm gonna miss Gnar, really, with a bow. I'm gonna miss Gnar.
Gnar. I mean, there's still gonna be Gnar's still in the next set. There's still gonna be bows on him on carousel. I still get to say Gnar on broadcasts.
That is true.
You know, yeah. I'm gonna miss Cho'Gath. I was actually talking about this. As much as I was upset about set 6 Cho'Gath, set 6.5 Omnivamp Cho'Gath is like that's that shit. That's that cool kid on the block. Every cool kid on the block knows about Omnivamp 6.5 Cho'Gath post buff. That's satisfying, very satisfying. There ain't gonna be nobody like one shot Cho'Gath.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. That is a kind of a beast, particularly against in Urgot 3.
Oh yeah. Oh no. We don't talk about that Cho'Gath. We don't talk about the armor plating. Oh my god, can you believe armor plating?
It was two procs, and they just
imagine if you had a Radiant GA on all of your Colossus units.
Twice. Oh yeah, Edge of Night. Yeah. But they keep attacking them. They don't switch aggro. They just and
they don't take damage. It's like, what is happening? Why can't I kill this unit? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. It was something. I'm probably gonna miss. Okay, it sounds weird, but it's 6.5 specifically because this is one of our questions. Actually, we've all answered it now, I guess, but me. Gnar was not my honest answer. He is fun, but I'll probably miss playing snipers the most because I just love AFKing with snipers and watching Caitlyn 2 kill a whole board. It's just it's fun. It's not bad. I have another question here, which is, what's your thoughts on the best comp of set 6?
No. That's my thoughts. Just no.
Oh, the best comp of set 6 is it's 6 Yordle. Oh my god, that was the heyday.
6 Yordle was so fun. Yeah.
Oh
was so
my
fun.
goodness. Towards the end of set 6, it was like, oh man, I'm pretty sure there was a point, it's like at the end of set 6, I was playing Yordle so much, and I was like just top 1ing every single lobby, just putting blue buff on Heimer, staying on 6, 3-starring everything, watching him just go. You go to 7, it's so easy. You put in Janna, you get all of your traits in, and you're just fucking killing everything. You're one-shotting everything. Level 8, boom, you get your Veigar in. You kill everything even faster. Oh man, I cannot tell you how sad I was when I saw that they were replacing Heimerdinger carry with Corky carry. I was like, oh.
I mean, Corky was so good for a while, but I think Heimer was definitely cooler. I agree.
Heimer, like, as a unit, like, it's so satisfying. Because, like, Heimer had, like, legitimately, I think Heimer had, like, the highest single target DPS for, like, a backline carry, like, just up front that we've seen, like, ever. Because, you know, the reason why he was so good against Sins is legit. They jump on your Heimer and he kills them. And what else, you know? Heimer just blue buff ults, kills one unit, goes to the Sin, blue buff ults that unit, and deletes it off of the face of the earth. Oh my goodness. What a... they did him so dirty in Arcane. They did him so dirty. They didn't actually do Heimer dirty. I think Heimer was a little stinker in Arcane, but they did him dirty in TFT.
Yeah.
Which is also Arcane because of Silco.
Yeah. Agreed. I'm gonna miss the arcane memes as well. But you know what? We will find new memes in set 7 because that is pretty much all we have to say about set 6. That is gonna do it. I guess the final wrap up is that set 6 was fucking sick. As much as there were like, just take the part I said after, like, when we started talking about base set 6 and put that here, and that's a good send off. I feel like because set 6 was as much as there were problems, there were like a lot of really good things. So
set 6 was fun as fuck.
It was a great set. Yeah. It was an absolutely amazing set.
Definitely a step up from. Okay, maybe Riley disagree. I mean, maybe Riley will agree.
Quality-wise, yes, set 6 is a significant step up from set 5. Fun-wise, personal enjoyment, it's close. It's very close.
People clap. We've all reached a consensus. There you have it. It can only go up from here.
And it will, because set 7 is going to be even sicker.
Set 7 looks sick. Know. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we have so many dragons. Dragon D's nuts.
Dragon D's nuts. Oh yeah. That's the no arcane memes. Now Dragon D's nuts memes.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is gonna do it for us though. Thank you so much everyone who listened or watched or chatted or didn't chat or just lurked or click the buttons that do the thing. We have a Patreon. Shout out to our Patreon people. Who I'm gonna get the list of really quickly. It is Cloud, Paladin, and Cowboy, if I'm not mistaken. Are those the only 3? I might be wrong. I think so.
Wait, yeah, Cloud, Paladin, Cowboy.
Pause champ.
I
could be wrong.
Thank you to our patrons. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And
yeah.
Bye-bye. See you in set 7, nerds.
See you at Christmas.
Oh yeah. TFT Christmas, baby.
TFT Christmas.
The 28th of Christmas. I screwed up. The 28th of December. But not. Bye. Catch you later.
Bye.